Hello and thank you for joining us here this morning at the NCTV newsroom. We're going to begin with your headlines. Security beefed up as Abia sets to host Buhari, and Buratai says days of Boko Haram terrorists are numbered. In business news, CBN's purchasing managers index gains points in December. And in sports news, Eagles to fly out to Morocco today. In entertainment, Nigerian singer Nice speaks on expecting a child with fourth baby mama. And in the foreign scene, migrants drown as dignity sinks off Libya coast. Thank you for joining us. I am Folake. Adesugba. We'll have the details up next. We're going to go right into detail now. Security have reportedly been beefed up in Umuahia, Abia state capital, and its environs as the state gets set to host President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, All Progressives Congress Chairman John Odigi Oyegun, and other stakeholders of the party on Tuesday, the 9th of January. President Buhari, who would be in the state for the first time after being elected president of the country for a mega rally organized by the party of the Umuahia Township Stadium, would also use the opportunity to present to the people of the state some political bigwigs in the state who had joined the party from People's Democratic Party as well as other parties. Now, the presidential advance team were already in the state, while security have been beefed up at flashpoints and other sensitive areas in the state, especially in Umuahia, as steps to ensure a peaceful visit of the president. The publicity secretary of the party in the state described the coming of the president as a landmark, stressing that Buhari's visit would further boost the preparation of the party towards unseating the PDP-led administration in the state in 2019. Godson disclosed that the coming of President Buhari would attract leaders of the party from the southeast, including the chairman of Governors Forum and Imo State Governor Roches Okorocha, former Senate President Senator Ken Nnamani, former governor of Old Anambra State, Chief Jim Umobodo, amongst others. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has condemned the recent killings in Benue State and other parts of the country, while warning that no one should politicize the insurgency situation. He made this known during the interdenominational service for the 2018 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. He also cautioned groups not to indulge in hate speeches and any form of retaliation. This follows the killings of 11 persons in a fresh attack on Tombu village in Logo local government area of Benue State by suspected herdsmen on Saturday. The state governor, Samuel Ortom, confirmed the renewed killings to Channels Television shortly after an emergency meeting with the joint socio-cultural groups in the state. The village was attacked barely 24 hours after the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, met with President Muhammadu Buhari over the killings in Benue, Rivers, and other parts of the country. Idris had told State House correspondents at the presidential villa in Abuja that the police were working hard to address the issues. He attributed the crisis to communal misunderstanding in the affected communities and maintained that Nigeria is well secured. This also comes after 33 persons were said to have been killed in an attack by alleged herdsmen. Now, we're still on security. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, said the days of the rump of Boko Haram terrorists are numbered in spite of occasional attacks of Nigerian targets. Buratai gave the assurance while addressing troops of the 8th Division at Monguna headquarters of Monguna local government area of Borno. He therefore charged the troops to be determined in the efforts to stabilize their area of operation and finally overcome the Boko Haram challenge in the country. The Chief of Army Staff noted that the creation of the 8th Division was a major strategic decision which had helped in addressing the challenge of Boko Haram terrorism in Borno North. Now, he warned the troops to refrain from all acts of indiscipline as peace was gradually returning to the area and displaced people returning to their communities restart their lives. The Army Chief further warned that those caught engaging in trading and extortion would be dealt with according to the law. The 8th Division was created as a task force in 2016 to boost military operations against the Boko Haram menace, particularly in the Lake Chad region. The Army Chief visited one of the camps in Monguna holding 20,000 IDPs and donated some relief materials, including food items, detergents, and clothes to them. Now we're still on the army. The authorities of 6th Division Nigerian Army, Port Harcourt, has confirmed the death of a notorious cult leader and kidnapped kingpin, Don Weni. Weni was shot and killed alongside his second-in-command, Ikechukwu Adiele, and another member of his gang, Lucky Ode, while trying to escape arrest. Troops of 6th Division Nigerian Army, in a statement, said Weni's enclave in Omoku on Elga River State was earlier raided on the 20th of November, where weapons, dynamites, bags of suspected cannabis, full military camouflage uniforms, military boots, military communication radios, 10 human skulls and human bones were discovered. The troops also on Tuesday, the 21st of November 2017, exhumed decomposing bodies of people allegedly killed by Weni. Now, the statement signed by Deputy Director Army Public Relations, Colonel Aminu El-Yasu, said further that Weni, after this criminal act, also went ahead to carry out an attack on New Year Day in Omoku, killing 23 residents when they were returning from crossover service to about 1:30 a.m. on the 1st of January 2018. Now, he, however, relocated from Omoku community after he unleashed mayhem on the New Year Day. The statement read further that Weni, on sensing that the combined team were closing in on his residence, attempted to escape. He was, however, shot down by the troops in the process. Authorities of 6th Division Nigerian Army, Port Harcourt, therefore calls for further cooperation from the members of the public in volunteering useful information to track down and arrest the remaining gang members so as to bring them to justice. Meanwhile, the Senate Chief Whip and a leader of the All Progressives Congress, Professor Olushola Adeyeye, has criticized the federal government for its failure to bring an end to the herdsmen attacks across the country. He expressed his displeasure while reacting to the recent herdsmen attacks in Benue State and the claims of the governor, Samuel Ortom, that those behind the killings were known people. According to him, the recent attack brings to mind the fact that there will never be security again in Nigeria until the courage to say there must be state police force. He stressed that the reason for such lawlessness and rising crime borders on the fact that states do not have an independent police. Adeyeye also noted that for security to be maintained in any state, the local police system must be enforced. Suspected herdsmen on Saturday killed 11 persons in a fresh attack on Tombu village in Logo local government area of Benue State. The state governor Samuel Ortom confirmed the renewed killings shortly after an emergency meeting with the joint socio-cultural groups in the state. Governor Ortom commended the heavy presence of the police as well as the military in the state in a bid to prevent a recurrence of such incidents. He, however, lamented that more than 40,000 people have been displaced for fear of unprovoked attacks. Socio-cultural groups in Benue have also challenged the leadership of the Nigeria police to visit Tombu village to be sure that the series of attacks carried out in the state were beyond communal crisis as claimed. Spokesperson for the group and President General of Umzog Utiv, Edward Ujege, called on the United Nations and the international community to come to the rescue of Benue indigenes. Still in security, a clash between men of the Kaduna Police Command and members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria and Kaduna on Sunday left 3 persons injured. The incident occurred when the police attempted to disperse members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria who were protesting and demanding the release of their leader, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zazaki. An eyewitness said that the Free El-Zazaki protesters blocked the popular Ahmadu Bello Way and Kano Road in the Kaduna state capital on Sunday evening, prompting the police to disperse them. Now, the police and the spokesperson of the Shiites, however, disagreed on the outcome of the ensuing clash. Media officer for the IMN, Ibrahim Musa, said in a statement that 1 person was killed and 3 others injured, but the spokesperson of the Kaduna Police Command, As Mukhtar Aliyu, said that only 3 persons, including a policeman, sustained minor injuries. According to Aliyu, the police were drafted to disperse the protesters, and in the course of doing that, there was an altercation and 2 civilians and 1 policeman were injured. He said the protest by members of the Islamic movement was a gross violation of the ban placed on street protests by the Kaduna State government, adding that the situation has been brought under control and normalcy returned to the state capital. Now, Sheets members have held series of protests in parts of the north demanding the release of their leader. The spokesperson said the Free El Zazake procession was carried out in major towns in northern Nigeria to press for the release of Sheikh Ibrahim Zaki because of the news of his deteriorating state of health. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, has said President Muhammadu Buhari is desirous to give Nigerian workers an enhanced pay package this year. He said the thinking of the federal government was to approve a minimum wage that would be acceptable to all stakeholders. Ngige stated that in a chat with journalists at Ifite Dunokofia local government area of Anambra State. He said a national tripartite committee set up by President Buhari on minimum wage had commenced work and would likely conclude the exercise in the third quarter of this year. And Ngige said the committee was very dear to Buhari, who had given close supervision. The Minister of Moving on, some Ijaw inhabitants and their Itekiri's neighbors in Delta State have locked horns over the ownership of the location where the Nigerian Maritime University is seated, and with the latter citing a Supreme Court judgment affirming their ownership of the area. Now, this has generated a lot of reactions, including from the federal government, as the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, in a memo to the Clerk of the National Assembly on the 17th of October 2017, advised the National Assembly to change the name of the location of the Maritime University from Okeren Koko to Okeren Gigo. In this controversy, prominent Niger Delta activists from Gubar Matu in Warri Southwest local government area of Delta State, High Chief Michael Johnny condemned the purported memo emanating from the AGF. Johnny, who is also a chieftain of All Progressives Congress in Delta State, accused the AGF of deliberately trying to cause a fresh crisis in Niger Delta. Reacting to this development, President Itsekiri National Youth Council, Agba Teyiniro Weyimini, says the decision of the Supreme Court has become a law, adding that the world is watching to see the outcome, which has become a test case for the National Assembly. The Maritime University, which was established by former President Goodluck Jonathan in May 2015, has suffered a lot of setbacks with litigations and accusations. It took a lot of lobbying and perhaps even the resumption of hostilities in the Niger Delta region before an approval was given for its takeoff. The Itsekiri leaders called on the Senate to relocate the institution to Okereni Go in Omadino community, saying the movement is imperative and in consonance with the valid court judgment supporting their claims. Now, in another development, Kogi government confirmed the compulsory retirement of 8 permanent secretaries, some directors, and dismissal of 1,774 others from the state civil service. The affected staff were served their letters last December. The letters were signed by the state head of service, Mrs. Deborah Ogumola, and the chairman of the State Civil Service Commission, Ado Shaibu. A copy of the retirement letter addressed to one of the affected permanent secretaries indicated that the retirement was in the interest of the public. Some of the affected permanent secretaries said that they were contemplating legal action. However, Chief Press Secretary to Governor Yariya Bello, Petra Akinti Onyegbuli, defended the action by saying it was part of ongoing reforms in the civil service. According to her, the retirement affected only permanent secretaries that have served for 4 years and above. The governor's media added that directors that served for 8 years and above would also be affected. Now, the Kaduna State wing of the Nigerian Union of Teachers has directed its member to commence indefinite strike today, January 8th, over the sack of 21,780 public primary school teachers in the state. Now, this is contained in a notice of strike dated 4th January 2018, signed by the union's Assistant Secretary General Adamu Anglo, obtained in Kaduna. The teachers were sacked for allegedly failing to score 75% pass pass mark of the competency test organized by the state government in June 2017. Now, the notice circulated to all the union executive in the 23 local government areas of the state indicated that a 2-week ultimatum was earlier issued to the state government to reverse its decision. According to the union, the decision has become necessary after the state government began issuing sack letters to the affected teachers after the Christmas and New Year holidays, in a swift reaction following the threat by the Nigeria Union of Teachers to embark on indefinite strike. Kaduna State Government has vowed to dismiss any teacher that is absent from duty. You're still watching NCTV News at the hour of 8, and still to come, CBN's Purchasing Managers Index gains points in December, and Eagles fly out to Morocco today. Nigerian singer Nice speaks on expecting a child with 4th baby mama, and migrants drown as dengue sinks off Libya coast. Details after the break. Please stay tuned. We're going to move right into business news, where the Central Bank of Nigeria's Purchasing Managers Index increased to 59.3 reading in December, which is the highest in 2017. Now, according to the CBN, 9 straight months growth in the manufacturing sector due to stability in the foreign exchange market is the major factor behind the strong PMI reading. Now, 15 of 16 subsectors tracked post growth across production level, new orders, supply, delivery, time, raw materials, among others. The CBN Non-Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index is up at 62.1 reading, showing 8 months of growth. The Nigeria Customs Service said it has generated 272 million naira for the federal government from the auctioning of 646 vehicles since its e-auction platform began 6 months ago. The spokesman of the service, Joseph Atta, who spoke in Abuja, said it has registered 5,454 persons since the platform commenced, while 4,865 persons participated, from which 646 emerged winners. The Comptroller General of Customs, Colonel Hamid Ali, launched the electronic auction platform, apptrade.gov.ng e-auction, on the 3rd of July 2017. Atta noted that the service would continue to be careful in handling of goods as its warehouse, so as not to be dragged into unnecessary litigations by claimants as a result of illegal disposal. Meanwhile, Customs also said it distributed 252,666 of 50-kilogram bags of rice worth 3.79 billion naira in the last 22 months to internally displaced persons in the northeast and Benin in Edo State. The spokesman added that the distribution of the relief items to the IDPS was a result of the presidential directive given in January 2016 to the service to donate all seized perishable items to Nigerians affected by the activities of the insurgents in the northeast. He said Colonel Ali inaugurated the National Logistics Committee in February 2016, with members drawn from customs and other security agencies to transfer all seized rice and other relief items to IDPS in Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, and Edo states. Moving into Sports now. Nigeria's trophy hunting home-based senior team will fly out of the country this night for the 5th African Nations Championship taking place in Morocco from the 13th of January to the 4th of February 2018. A few days ago, head coach Salisu Yusuf named a 23-man team to fly Nigeria's flag at the finals, where the 2014 bronze medalists will play 2014 champions Libya, Rwanda and Equatorial Guinea in Group C. Team administrator Dayo Enebi Akar at the weekend said that the delegation will fly aboard a Turkish airline flight from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, and connect Rabat from Istanbul on Tuesday morning. The Ikechukwu Ezenwa captained squad will take on Rwanda, hosts of the last edition of the competition 2 years ago at the Stade IBN Batuta on Monday, the 15th of January, starting from 8:30 p.m. Nigeria time, before games against Libya at the same venue on Friday, 19th of January, starting from 4:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m. Nigerian time, and Equatorial Guinea in Agadir on Tuesday, the 23rd of January, starting 7 p.m. Morocco time, 8 p.m. Nigeria time. Nigeria failed to qualify for the final competition of the first 2 editions of the CHAN, losing to Ghana in 2008 ahead of Cote d'Ivoire 2009 and beaten on aggregate by Niger Republic in 2010 ahead of Sudan 2011. And now Onyilomo Quadri and Mary Love Edwards will headline Team Nigeria's title defense at the 2018 ITF CAT West and Central African Junior Championship qualifiers serves off in Lome, Togo today. Nigeria is aiming for a record-extending 7th consecutive overall winners title at the tournament, which will draw to a close on the 17th of January, featuring 12 countries. Rebecca Ekpenyong and Oiza Yakubu will compete alongside Quadri in the girls 16 and under, while Iye Onoja and Rhea Holmes will represent the country in the 14 and under. The boys team is also formidable, with the Friday Gabriel, Matthew Abamu and Sani Musa battling in the boys 16 and under, while Seliman Ibrahim, Usman Kishimo and Kenneth Joseph jostle in the 14 and under. The trio of Holmes, Kushimo and Joseph will be making their debut for Nigeria. South Africa will host the 14 and under, while the 16 and under championship will take place in Tunisia. Nigeria's coach Mohamed Ubale expressed confidence of the team clinching the top position. He cited the Nigeria Tennis Federation newly introduced Play Your Age tournament, which took place in Abuja mid-December, as well as the 5-day closed camping in Lagos, as an ideal preparation for the country. Quadri has been one of the top junior players in the continent in the past 3 years and will be aiming for the top prize in the girls 16 and under category, which she won last year. She will be playing for a 3rd successive gold medal after winning the 14 and under title in Abuja in 2016, where she defeated Edwards in the final and triumphing last year in her present category. On her part, Edwards, who is on holiday, having shifted base to the United States last September, looks good to rule the 14 and under category. Moving into entertainment news, Nigerian singer and father of 4, Abolore Akande, popularly known as Nice, has reacted to news that another woman is pregnant with his 5th child. According to rumor making its rounds on social media, a skincare expert identified as Olori Oluwayemisi is pregnant with his 5th child. But in an Instagram post, the Gongoso crooner denied the report, saying inasmuch as his 20 kids agenda was still very much in place, no one was currently pregnant with his child. The singer has 4 kids, a son from his marriage to Tony Payne, twin daughters from a brief romance with Abuja-based Vicky Goddess, and a daughter from Olasukemi Ajala. Nollywood actress Adesugba Wellington has revealed that she never wanted to marry anyone from the entertainment industry. Mrs. Wellington, in a documentary titled The Wellingtons, disclosed that she wasn't looking out to date or marry anyone in the entertainment industry until Banky W came along and changed her perception. According to her, Banky's first message to her made her laugh, which guaranteed they were going to get along. On why she had traditional wedding in Lagos and not in Benin City as tradition demands, Adesugba said all her family members are in Lagos. Moving into the foreign scene, at least 8 migrants have drowned and 84 have been rescued after a rubber dinghy sank off the coast of Libya. The Spanish rescue charity Proactiva Open Arms said dozens of others might still be missing. It is believed to be the first sinking of a migrant boat in the Mediterranean in 2018. The sea crossing to Europe is the deadliest route in the world for migrants, the UN says. Nearly 34,000 migrants have drowned or gone missing in the waters since 2000, according to figures from the International Organization for Migration. The German charity Sea Watch said at least 25 people had died, but numbers were still unclear. One of its boats was on the way to the scene north of Tripoli, it added. Proactiva Open Arms said many of those rescued had spent hours in the water. Now, Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger has said that he has been invited by the new Liberia president George Weah to his inauguration later this month. Wenger was Weah's manager at French side Monaco between 1988 and 1992, but he's not sure he will be able to attend. Wenger is facing a Football Association disciplinary hearing for various comments he made about referees in recent weeks. The Arsenal boss admits he still finds it hard to believe what Weah has achieved. Wenger also recalled the passion and love Weah had for Liberia. Weah won a presidential runoff poll last month, beating Joseph Boakai with more than 60% of the vote. He will succeed Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Africa's first elected female president. We're going to take a short break, and when we get back, we're going to round up with our major stories. We'll be right back. NCTV News, a recap of our major stories now. Security have reportedly been beefed up in Umuahia, Abia State capital, and its environs as the state gets set to host President Muhammadu Buhari. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, said the days of the ramp of Boko Haram terrorists are numbered, in spite of occasional attacks of Nigerian targets. And in business news, the Central Bank of Nigeria's Purchasing Managers Index increased to 59.3, reading in December, which is the highest in 2017. And of course, in sports, Nigeria's trophy hunting home-based senior team will fly out to the country this night for the 5th African Nations Championship taking place in Morocco from the 13th of January to the 4th of February 2018. And in entertainment news, Nigerian singer and father of 4, Abolore Akonde, popularly known as Nice, has reacted to news that another woman is pregnant with his 5th child. And in the foreign scene, at least 8 migrants have drowned and 84 have been rescued after a rubber dinghy sank off the coast of Libya. All right, everyone, thank you for joining us this morning. That's it for the news. Once again, I am Folake Adesugba. We're going to take you right back to the Bright Morning Show. You're watching NCTV.